Hi, my name is Simon Quattrocchi. I'm from GV Finance Brokers, and I've put this little pod series together to give you information about what the finance industry is about and how to go about some of the home loans that are available to you. So I hope you enjoy this podcast series.
Welcome back to episode number 4 of the GV Finance Brokers podcast. With me today, as always, we have Simon. Welcome along.
No problem, thank you.
Today we're going to talk car loans, personal loans and equipment finance. So let's start right there. Why do you offer car loans, personal loans and equipment finance?
Well, we offer it as an additional service to our home loans. Generally, we find just because you've bought a house, people are always after additional funds for a variety of reasons. Now, for the personal customer, it's like they might want a new car, can be a caravan, a boats quite often as well.
Yes.
And also it could be a personal loan. So we have clients that have possibly refinanced or purchased many, many years ago, and they want to make a small renovation to their kitchen or their bathroom. They might need to meet finance for that as well. So we need to have those ongoing services.
So in terms of, again, approaching a broker for these types of loans, what's the advantage there?
For my current clients that I've just arranged a home loan for, and it could be a past car loan or equipment finance as well for a business, we already have your information on file. So generally what we're looking to do is we'll always check for any updates. So we'll go through your statement of position and double check anything that's changed in regards to that. You may have taken on another credit card or something in the meantime, or buy now, pay laters like Afterpay. But the advantage is we've got your information. So we already understand your financial position already, and we're just updating it, getting some more current information. So that way, because we have that information, we can get a little bit more of a smoother process in terms of getting a vehicle loan or a personal loan, or if you're self-employed and looking to upgrade that equipment for your business, well, we've already had that understanding already. So we can make it a smoother application process.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like it just comes back to, again, the advantage of using a broker is that, they can do the quote unquote heavy lifting for you, but it also saves you a huge amount of time as well, rather than trying to figure it all out yourself. What types of car loans do you offer?
Well, car loans come in two forms. Obviously, there's one for business. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Is that car loans can be for what is called secured or unsecured. And we determine at the time of the application what type of car loan we're going to offer you. Majority of the time, it is a car loan. Now, the car loan can be either that you can be buying through dealer or you can be private sale. So both of them are fairly easy. Obviously, private sale is going to have a little bit more paperwork involved because we're paying a third party that's not an actual dealer. And then going forward from there, then obviously the age of the vehicle, the type of vehicle, how many kilometres on the vehicle, all play a factor in which lender that we would actually place you with.
Yeah, of course. And that's a good point to make as well. If you are in the market for a new car, you can go to your broker or approach a broker rather than having to go through what you'll quite often see is finance through the dealership as well. So you can approach a broker in that regard.
Correct. And hopefully we can actually get you better rates as well.
Yeah, fantastic. So it's not just car loans either that you finance for customers. What else do we have available?
Personal loans. So we do quite a lot of personal loans. Part of this is people have things they need to finance. Now, we do finance holidays. People need finance for medical reasons. Just recently we did a personal loan for vet medical reasons, and because vets can cost a lot of money.
They certainly
we're
can.
finding out these days.
Yes.
Any worthwhile purpose. So what I mentioned earlier was like renovations. People want to renovate their kitchen or their bathroom or put a pergola on. Sometimes it's not worth the cost of refinancing or topping up your home loan just to add maybe $20,000 or $25,000 to extend that small amount of money over a period of 25 or 30 years.
Yes.
A personal loan that you pay off in 5 years, even though the rate might be slightly higher, you might only pay 2.5-3% above what a home loan rate is.
Yep.
But I can tell you now, by taking it out over 5 years, you will save a hell of a lot more interest than dragging that small increase out over a 25, 30-year period.
Yeah, fantastic. So, yeah, oftentimes, again, it's obviously, advantageous to talk to your broker to make those decisions. Is it a refinance? Is it a personal loan? What's the best option? And you're going to be able to give them those recommendations.
Yeah, and we will, as from previous podcasts, we'll educate you to understand exactly what the figures are going to be so you can make the right decision.
Fantastic. Well, that's personal loans. What about finance for business?
So finance for business, we finance the most common item, which most businesses are. They're obviously wanting to upgrade their vehicles. Now, very, very common. It's obviously like your four-wheel drives. Very, very common, like, for example, like your Ford Ranger. Very, very common.
Yes.
Like the Nissan Navaras, the D-Maxes, very, very common vehicles. So that would cover a lot of our business equipment, business finance in regards to the most common financed item.
Yep.
But we do a lot of finance outside that for more heavy vehicles. So, for example, we've got one client that we finance tip trucks, and we've also financed cement trucks for on a fairly regular basis. Just normal trucks as well. A variety of equipment. For example, wood chippers, believe it or not, they can be very, very pricey.
Yes.
In which we've financed them over $100,000 a pop. So,
wow.
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't think, but a wood
Goodness
chipper.
me.
But for professional arborists, they need that type of machinery. So you'll be amazed on what type of equipment we finance, and there's so much out there. And it's like other goods like forklifts. You can have office fit outs, electronics. You'll be amazed on what can actually be financed.
And what would be the reason for, obviously in terms of a business, why would they finance these types of equipment rather than just using cash or capital? Like, what's the benefit there?
Well, it's cash flow, really what it comes down to. So if you are going to buy a new, easy Ford Ranger, 80K generally, sometimes that's what we've been financing them for.
Yes.
Because everyone wants the top of the range. And what happens is that you might have that 80K sitting in your business account, but as soon as you take that out, you're pretty much back to zero. So you've started to affect your cash flow. And especially in today's market, especially with inflation up, interest rates up, and the uncertainty of what's happening, you probably want to keep that cash in your bank account to help ride you out through some low times.
Yep.
And obviously you're going to have the high times as well, but better to pay that vehicle off over 4 to 5 years. It's a tax deduction, and keep that money in your bank account.
Keep the cash in the bank. No, very sound advice. Very sound advice. So in terms of finance for businesses, I'm sure there's some parameters that need to be met. So if there is a business that's looking for finance, how long do they need to be in business for?
Look, commonly most lenders of the prime nature are looking for you to have been into business for 2 years, had your ABN for 2 years and be GST registered. Now, being a property owner is by far the easiest. We would be classed as a prime candidate. However, it doesn't matter if you're renting. As long as you've got solid financials and clean credit, you're fine to go. But that's not a hard and fast rule. So,
Sure.
For example, I've had one client who was employed as an excavator and he wanted to go out on his own. So he actually needed a loan for an excavator and a small tip truck, basically. So to start his business off, he only just had his ABN registered. We proved what he had been doing for the past couple of years and his business plan, and away we went. And we were able to finance for him. So
fantastic.
As long as we can.
Yeah, if there's a plan in place. Yeah, exactly. Do you find that there's an increase in new businesses starting and finance for new businesses? Is there a bit of an uptrend in that
Oh, the last 12 months, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's interesting, there's been new businesses starting, and we've also found that we've been doing a lot of finance for people wanting to buy business for sale in the area
Yes.
as well. So that's been
True.
quite an uptake as well.
Okay. Yep. Fantastic. And again, if there is any questions or, for anybody who is listening, they are a bit unsure, what's the best course of action?
Give us a call.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
That's the easiest way.
How many lenders do you have available, Simon?
We would have, it's always changing because we've got lenders coming onto the panel and coming off, but just on average, for not the home loan lenders, just for the equipment finance, we have approximately 20 to 25 lenders at any one time.
Okay.
Majority of them are prime, but there's the ones we refer to as non-prime that look outside that box, like what I was mentioning before. You could be a new business looking for finance and they'll look at that type of funding.
Fantastic. And again, the benefit of having access to that many lenders gives you a wide variety of choice to be able to find the best solution.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully by having that choice available to us, we'll be then able to place that loan for you.
Yeah, fantastic. Anything else?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all, I believe.
Fantastic. Excellent. So again, if you are in the market for finance, either for yourself personally, for the family, or for a business, make sure to reach out to Simon and the team to discuss all those needs. Once again, a value-packed episode. Simon, thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for listening to the GV Finance Podcast. New episodes will be live each month, so stay tuned for up-to-date information about all things finance. Please subscribe on your preferred podcast platform and share on your social media channels.